Hey guys, Mr. Bruce here. Today's book, A Guest is a Guest. Looks like a farm they have there. But before we get started, eyes watching, ears listening, voices quiet, body calm. A guest is a guest. Farmer Bean Buckets and his wife and their son, Billy, all lived on a farm. The Bean Buckets were very kind people and always treated their animals like they were part of the family. Billy was especially fond of a clever little pig named Oliver. The two of them played together every day. But every night, Billy and Oliver had to go their separate ways. One evening, Billy asked if it would be all right if he could have a friend spend the night. "If it's okay with his mother," said Mrs. Bean Buckets. Well, Billy went out to the pig pen to get his friend Oliver. The other pigs were asleep, so he quietly snuck the piglet away and took him up to his room. Later that night, Oliver's mother noticed that her baby was gone. She woke the other pigs and they all called out for the missing piglet. "Oink, oink, 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 oink. Oliver, where are you?" Well, the noise woke Oliver, and he went down to the back door to see what all the racket was about. The pigs were happy to see that Oliver was safe, and together they all snuck up into Billy's room. Oh my God, look at that. They're playing with his toy dinosaurs and sleeping. In the morning, the Bean Buckets came down to a kitchen full of hungry pigs. "What should we do?" asked Mrs. Bean Bucket. "Well, a guest is a guest, and I guess we must show them our best." So they made them breakfast. Later that day, the rooster saw a strange sight in the farmhouse. He sent in one of his hens to see what was going on. Is that a pig smoking a pipe? When the hen didn't return, he gathered all the chickens together and he entered the house. They found her. She was sitting on a big fluffy pillow. It was the softest nest she had ever sat on, and she was not about to leave. It wasn't a nest, it was the farmer's chair. Soon, there was a hen on every pillow. "What should we do?" asked Mrs. Bean Buckets. "Well," Mr. Bean Buckets said, "a guest is a guest, and we must show them our best." They're very hospitable. In the evening, the Bean Buckets sat down to watch their favorite Western on television. The pigs and chickens were making so much noise that the farmer Bean Buckets had to turn the volume all the way up just to hear. "You're making such a racket, I can't hear my show." Well, the sounds of the TV Western brought the horses and the cows stampeding into the room. They stopped in front of the TV and stared at it. "More guests?" asked Billy. "Afraid so," said Farmer Bean Basket. Oh my God. In the morning, there was a knock at the door. It was the ducks. "I guess they were wondering where everybody went," said Billy. Oh, now the ducks were in the house. Now the house was filled with animals, and they took over the TV. They were watching anything they wanted. They ate all the good stuff in the refrigerator, except for the steaks and the sausage. And the morning paper was always a mess because they left it all over the living room after they read it. The worst of all is every morning there was a line at the bathroom door to use the bathroom. Oh my goodness. Finally, Farmer Bean Buckets cried out, "A guest is a guest, and we must show them our best, but enough is enough. You have to get tough." Finally. So the animals said, "Okay, we'll get tough," and they threw the Bean Buckets out of their own house. Then Billy got an idea. He called Oliver over to the pig pen, and the two of them began to roll around and play in the mud. And they started playing and rolling and playing and rolling. When Oliver's mother saw them out there, she led the pigs out of the house and into the pen where they could keep a better eye on the piglet in the mud, because that's what pigs love to do. This gave Farmer Bean Buckets an idea. He jumped up onto the chicken perch and said, "Cock-a-doodle-doo." Well, the rooster didn't like someone else being in his house and doing his job, and he led the chickens back to the coop. Now the chickens were out of the house. Mrs. Beanbucket caught on to what was happening, and she rolled the TV into the stable. The horses and the cows followed right behind her into the stable where they belonged. The ducks were a little more difficult. But moving the tub and the shower to the yard finally did the trick. Oh my goodness, that's where their tub is now. Finally, the bean buckets ran back into the house and locked the door behind them. Whew! The house was a mess. After a full day of cleaning, they were tired. All they wanted to do was go to bed. And when they got to their bed, they said, you know what? A guest is a guest. Now it's time for a rest. And they sat down in the stable with all the animals and watched TV and went to sleep. And the Bean Bucket family went to sleep right with them. The end. Okay. Well, here's a question. I see pigs, I see ducks, I see chicken, I see horses, I see cows. Is there any other farm animal that you can think live on a farm that you don't see here? Try to think it over. There's something else that's on a farm? All right. I'll be back tomorrow. And remember, be good to your folks and wash your hands. Bye-bye.